Hello everyone, this is Espoir David. Well, of course you know that if you clicked on this video, at least I hope you know that. This here's a little speed draw that I just decided to do because I just wanted to draw a cell phone thing. I wanted to draw a cell phone thing of my boys from my game, Picture Perfect Boyfriend. I'm really glad that there's so many people really like this game. It just flatters me every time I see fan art or if I see people fangirling or fanboying over my character Ashton. It really does warm my heart so very much. So I thought I'd just spill some tea. Just spill some tea all over the place about my game. But hopefully not too much tea, and hopefully not anything I'll have to retcon later, because, I don't know, I don't like doing that. So anyway, this is the pencil sketch, just kind of sketching out with just lines and shapes. I can't remember where I learned how to do that, but it's been really helpful for all of my drawings if I don't have a model. The hands are a little bit off because I didn't use, like, a model. I couldn't find exactly what I was looking for, but it's fine, it's fine. So if you haven't played my game Picture Perfect Boyfriend, it's free now, and it's basically a mini horror dating sim, although it's I don't want to call it a horror because it's not really scary, but it's like psychological horror. I don't know. Some spooky stuff happens, some stuff that you won't expect from a normal dating sim. Anyway, I plan to talk about the boys as I'm drawing them. So right now it looks like I'm on Vincent, or Vincey Poo as Cadzie calls him. Vincent is blue represents his color, and he's like kind of the very quiet, very serious, very aristocratic young man. He is the shortest and the youngest of the group. And he's not OCD, but he just doesn't like things being out of place. He doesn't like anything that's crooked. He doesn't like anything that's like messy. He's very soft-spoken, just a very gentle young man. And he likes wearing a tuxedo everywhere he goes because he's a pianist. Pianist. So next up is Cadzie Kadzington. I'm not sure if I'm going to make that his last name, but for right now, that's what Vincent calls him, Kadzington. His name is Cadzie. Where did I get that name? I don't even remember. But he is an influencer on the fake YouTube that I'm making up in this story once I actually start writing the full story. And he's just a really energetic guy. He's very tactile. He's always like glomping his friends. Who remembers glomping? Just kind of running into them and hugging them. Just giving everyone little pet names that they absolutely hate, like Vincey Poo. I should really make up what his nicknames for Ashton are, because I don't remember. I haven't thought of any. So now we're on the big man. Give him a little uwu face real quick. Jonathan. His full name is John Doe because he doesn't have a name, because he lives in the forest. He's literally homeless. He is literally homeless. He lives in a tent in the forest, and Vincent helps him with like clothes and such, and he helps Vincent at his mansion, but he prefers to be like out in the wild. Kind of wears like a safari thing. You don't really get to see it too much in this picture, but he's a big man. He's got big hands. Let's see, now it looks like we're on my Ashy Poo. My sweet little scissor-loving flower hacker grease boy. I'm so glad that people love Ashton so much. I was a little worried because if you play the game, he's definitely based on Peter from the Your Boyfriend game, and also a bit of Monica, and also a bit of other things that I like. I like big boys. me personally, but just kind of a mismatch of all things that I really like. Oh yeah, and Ashton's name comes from a character from Star Ocean 2 named Ashton Anchors, who was my absolute favorite character in that whole game. Like, Ashton starts out as like a weak little nerd, but as the game goes on, he's still kind of a nerd. But if you level him up, he's like one of the most powerful characters in the game, or at least he was in my game, because he never left my team. And also, if you can, look up a clip of Ashton looking at barrels. He loves barrels for some reason, like kegs, the wooden barrels. He loves barrels. And there's some point in the game where he's looking at an urn. He's like, this isn't a barrel, this is an urn. And he's very disappointed. But yeah, that's where Ashton's name comes from. So as I said before, this game was inspired from the Your Boyfriend game made by Black Shepherd Games? Black Shepherd Games or Black Shepherd Studio. Anyway, their game is wonderful, wonderful. I fell in love with Peter, like, at first sight. I can't wait to play more of that game. They're still updating it. It's still going on. You can check out their Patreon, which is how you'll get access to the full game or whatever they've gotten up to. I think they're working on day 4 in this day of our Lord, March 2022. But I bring that up because John is the big older guy of the group. He's based on Don from the Your Boyfriend game, only because he's a big man. He's a big man who's kind of older. Let's see. Yeah, Cadzie and Vincent don't really have a counterpart in the Your Boyfriend game. Vincent actually looks exactly like a previous character I drew named Ross, who was a German vampire. And, oh man, shoot. I should have wrote it down, but Vincent's last name is Eis something. It's the German word for ice song, which I'd hoped to work into his story, but that might get a little silly, so I'm going to drop that for now. But he has an actual last name, and it is the German word for ice song. Let's see, what else? Cadzie Kadzington is based on Markiplier, one of my favorite YouTubers. Oh, I love Markiplier. I love Marky Moo. I love him so much. I love watching his videos. I love his overconfidence. I love Markiplier so much. And also a little mix of other YouTubers. That is one of the reasons why his hair is so multicolored, that thing that Markiplier and a few other YouTubers are doing, where they would dye their hair. I actually don't know why. Oh yeah, this is me looking up my own characters, because you think you know how to draw, and then you're looking back at your own characters. So, yeah, Cadzie's kind of personality and his hairstyle is mostly based on Markiplier and, dang it, Categoras, yeah. Or actually, I think I was thinking of Categoras, but I didn't want him to sound like Categoras' name, so instead of Caddy, I called him Cadzie, because I think that was a mistake. It wasn't supposed to sound like Categoras. So Markiplier, when I hear Markiplier's name, it sounds like the word multiplier, and just with Mark's name in there. So I was thinking, what about a guy named Cadzie, or Cads, and he puts a different kind of math thing in there, but addition, so Caddition 99, because that's what everyone did with their names. So this magenta here is a little trick I learned to like get any pieces that are still white that should not be white. Vincent looks very cool with his disco glasses. I might have to draw him in like disco glasses someday. But yeah, kind of anything that's magenta should be white. And if it shouldn't be white, then I gotta color it in. like that part in Cadzie's chin and ear and stuff. So this is just me, like, getting the little tiny pieces. Let's see, where was I? So yeah. The more I draw makeup characters, the more I realize I don't have very good drawing ability, because I can only draw like 3 hairstyles, and you're looking at them. I can draw curly, I can draw straight and pointy, or I could draw Ashton's hair that has the little flip up in the back. I save that for my extra favorite characters. What am I doing now? Oh yeah, just coloring in John's beard, Jonathan. So, a lot of these characters... Actually, no, only two of them. Went through a lot of changes. Vincent and Cadzie pretty much stayed the same, but John was actually going to be like a very pale, wimpy, kind of very feminine, white-haired nature lover guy, which wouldn't make sense, because if he's really pale, why is he hanging outside in the forest? So I scrapped that and made him an older, manly man. And Ashton looked a lot different when I first drew him, but I'm not going to tell you what Ashton used to be like, because that would be spilling far too much tea for my next game. Let's just say you might get to see what Ashton used to look like, or at least what the idea of him used to be. Perhaps I have said too much. Perhaps the Bureau is going to be banging down my door now for me to stop revealing their secrets and sabotaging their games, or sabotaging their AI simulations. What am I doing now? Me? I'm like rewatching myself drawing this. I don't know if that's how people usually talk over these speed draws, but I don't know, that's what I'm doing. That's the thing, sometimes if you don't know how to do something, you just gotta try and do it. What am I even doing? Oh, I'm shading Ashton's coat, making it a little bit darker. And then I think right there I've realized that I'm drawing on the wrong layer or something. Gosh darn it, me. Let's see. I know at some point I realized that John's head is a bit too big. But yeah, John's head looks a little bit big here, doesn't it? I think I'm gonna fix that in a minute. So, a trick I've learned is to I use Clip Studio Paint. Yeah, there I am, shrinking his head. Shrinking his head like Beetlejuice. Much better. But, is to draw the pencil layer on, like, a regular layer, and then do the inks on a vector layer, because it is so much easier to resize and control, and you can use the vector eraser, which is my absolute favorite thing in the world. Yeah, the vector eraser is wonderful. Ugh, here I am putting the shinies on Vincent's tuxedo. I'm still learning shading, so I don't know, to a really good artist it probably looks terrible, but to me it looks fine. Also, my art is really inconsistent. I don't like that, but it's fine. I've probably drawn their eyes like 7 different ways. I don't have a set way to draw their eyes, except Ashton's. Ashton's eyes are easy. Ugh. Oh yeah, and you may have noticed that they have noses now. I'm thinking about making an employee of the Bureau point out, why don't any of the characters have noses in the first game? Who decided that? But yeah, I'm gonna try to draw them with noses now, because it just looks way too weird for them without noses. Oh yeah, and Vincent's little rose. It's very important, which I would make important if I had it was supposed to be important. I forget what the importance of the purple rose is on his vest. I don't remember anymore. It's just a little bit of color added to him. But yeah, I'm really proud of that rose. I just kind of belted it out. Just kind of quickly drew a cabbage and colored it purple. Oh man. I just realized I think I forgot to color a tuft of Ashton's hair. Oh well, that's okay. So this is supposed to be a cell phone wallpaper, but putting it on my phone, it still looks a little bit too big. Well, it's fine. So now I'm working on the background, and I didn't feel like drawing no more roses, so I used the Eclipse Studio Paint rose stencil brush thing. It's always good to take a second look at your drawing before you post it. But, that's fine. It's fine. It's already uploaded on Twitter. It's fine. I probably should have made those roses a little bit more vibrant, but it's fine. Oh yeah, I think my next favorite trick is coming up, and I wish I could remember the person who taught it to me. So they're supposed to be making a heart with their hands. I wasn't sure if that was clear, so I was going to put like a little heart shape in there, but then again, that kind of blocks their faces too much, so I thought, nah, maybe not. Thought against it. Also, saving my work. I've been drawing all this time. This whole drawing session was an hour and a half, and only now am I saving my work. So this next trick I'm going to do is really fun. Let's see if I can explain it fast. So you take the thing that you're drawing, put that in a folder, duplicate that, have like 2 duplicates of the whole picture, blur one, make a third layer that's like pink or whatever color you want to use, set that pink layer to overlay, and drop the opacity of the blurred layer, and then you get this really cool soft effect. Thank you so much to the person on Twitter who taught that to me. And yeah, there's the picture. It's pretty nice. I'm pretty proud of it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I should probably go to bed right now. Good night. Thank you for watching. Good night.